Hello everyone, this is lesson 2 of the trilogy of women in esports, and this will be talking about notable women in esports and their stories. So in the previous lesson, what did we actually talk about? So we talked about what game is, and we talked about what is esports and how it started, and traditional sports being the problem that they were having being esports problem, gender-based marketing, and imagery behind female gamers. So we talked about how games could have multiple definitions that people create, and esports just adding competitiveness and online availability just creates esports, and just how it started with the arcade and how that led to console and continuation to PC. And we talked about how in traditional sports, women were not allowed to or looked down upon when they were involved in traditional sports. And that's exactly how it is in esports and the gender-based marketing, where it comes with the game industry just focusing on male, and just how they decided that male would be their focal topic and focal control group for their projects. So the whole division of that, and then the imagery behind female gamers. We talked about the negativities that they get, as well as all the harassment, and then the problems they come across when they want to express the fact that they enjoy the game. But today we're going to be talking about several females, actually 2 females who made it through the hardship. So there are actually a lot of female esports, professional esports players out there, just they're not as known. So I'm gonna be talking about 2 prominent females, in my opinion, that actually survived, and they did not care what the males were thinking. They just decided, it's what I'm gonna do, it's what I love, it's what I enjoy, so I'm just gonna go at it, and no one can bother me whatsoever. So the first female we're gonna be talking about is Sasha Scarlett Ahoiston. If you know StarCraft, you know her. She is one of the phenomenon that broke a lot of people's thought. She's a Canadian Zerg player who is currently playing for Team Expert. So Zerg is a type of character of a class you could play in StarCraft. So she is known to be empathetic about her disinterest in being recognized for anything but her in-game skills. So she doesn't care if people are calling her out for being a different for joining the boys club, even though she's a female. She just wants to play the game. She wants people to know her for her skills, not because she's a girl and she could beat other guys. And she's also recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's highest earning female professional gamer. So she is well known if you're a female and you're just interested in esports. So her first step, how did she start? So she first started with StarCraft 2 in April 2011 by participating in an online female-only tournament, the NESL Iron Lady. So she decided, if I'm interested in this game and I'm gonna get harassed or just, looked down upon, let's just start small. So she started with the female-only tournament. And from here, she managed to earn championship twice in a row. So from here, she was like, she was like, yeah, I feel like I can go more for this. So on March 2012, she won the Playham Sponsor Me tournament. This tournament was any person could come in and play, and whoever won, they would be awarded with a trip and attendance to IGN Pro League Season 4. So this is a big deal because the Sponsor Me tournament was all the people who were there without sponsorship. So they went in here without any support, and they're like, I have the skill set to be sponsored, to be in a team that could actually win tournaments. So in here, she competed against probably hundreds and hundreds of male, and she managed to just win it all. So her live debut was IPL 4 Open Bracket 2012. She managed to deliver a big upset against notable players as Terius and Dodoro in the first rounds. So from here, she just already setting up high expectations for herself, and all the audience are looking at her because she's obviously different than other players in the boys' club. But then she moved to the losers bracket, because they in StarCraft there is the winners bracket and the losers bracket, and if you're in the losers bracket, you're still able to go up back into that final stage. So she moved to losers bracket after third round, but she pulled off an impressive victory by defeating the Muslim. Apparently he was during that time he was known to be a really, really good player. So having this big upset was like mind-blowing to a lot of people. So after her performance in the losers bracket, there was a short interview about how she feels in the tournament and how well she's been playing, just like her general idea of what's happening to her life right now. Okay, so from this, you could even just tell that she was just confident in her play. She knew that she was gonna win. She just knew that her skill was just as good as the guys. Like she said, she started because her brother like kind of taunted her, saying like, "Hey, you can't beat me in this game." And she's like, "Well, give me a second." And then she just learns it and beats him 6-0. So she knew what she was doing. She's confident. Okay, so she first joined a team called Ellipsia in April 16, 2012, and she performed as the team's ace in IPL Team Arena Challenge 3-team league, and the team challenged the team managed to be qualified. So in that interview, she mentioned how she wanted to get into this. So in this tournament, if you know anything about StarCraft, you know that South Korea is the most dominant nation in the game. But she managed to pull through her team. Like she managed to get her team to win against a Korean team during this competition. That's extremely impressive. If as a person who comes from no sponsorship, she comes in, she wows everyone, she joins the team, and she beats the strongest nation possible. So all eyes on her right now. And later she leaves Eclipsia and joined Acer on June 12, 2012. She was invited to 2012 StarCraft 2 World Championship Series, and she also during this time she managed to defeat many notable players all the way to grand finals. And according to the commentators in this event, many players were unable to find ways to beat her on their own. She won the grand finals and became the world champion for Canada with the record of 12-1 in this game with the 6K prize money. With this victory, she was able to gain a spot in 2012 BattleNet North American Championship. So already on, if you ever YouTube videos of her, you already see comments already hating her for just being like, oh, she's a girl, why would she be in this place? But she's already proving them wrong, saying I could be a girl, but I could also play the game as well as you guys. I could join this boys club that so-called people say, but she's managing through. She went all the way to grand final. She got an invitation to North American Championship, so she's in it to win it. So during this North American Championship, which happened in August 24, she managed to the winners bracket final only with a single loss. It wasn't even like she lost the game; she lost a map, which means she during a game she went like 3-1 or something. And she also from this championship series, she took first place and claimed 24K prize as well as a spot in the World Championship, which happens in Blizzard's arena, which is a high honor to be just being playing in the arena. So there in 2012 Blizzard World Championship, she was placed in a Group H with Moonglade, Creator, and Nurchio. They are very known players. They're very skilled. They've been playing for a long time as well. In this group, she ended in second place, but she lost to Pardon G in the first round of the championship bracket. So she didn't manage. She couldn't be. What am I trying to say? So she just couldn't get all the way up to the championship bracket, but being in this competition itself was just a huge honor, huge achievement from a player who just happens to love the game, and she just comes in to play the game. So she ends up going to Korea to represent, because Team Acer and Exxon decided to merge together to be in a tournament for GSTL. Their team house was in Seoul, so she stayed there until August 2013. Then she went to America again to play for the World Championship Series, Season 2 Premier League Finals. But before leaving Korea, the central of StarCraft 2 eSports, she participated in Premier League, Rhythmix RSL Season 5, IEM Season something, Shanghai and Acer Team Story Cup. And she also stayed in China after all this event to take a break. And she also had a wrist injury, so she needed to take a break. So in Premier League, her team was able to requalify after going into the losers bracket. In Remix RSL, they got third by default. She got third by default because while this was happening, she was participating in the IEM in Shanghai. She wasn't able to find internet access, so it was like a default loss. And in Acer, they didn't play too well. They went 2-4 during playoffs, so they couldn't go all the way. But still, she had a very, very busy few months after all the fame that she was gaining. So when she returned to America in October 1st, 2013, she played in the finals for World Championship American Series, Season 3 Premier League, and she also went to play for the Red Bull Battlegrounds in New York City. She defeated Bomber, which was a rematch of the Season 2 finals. But she lost to SOS, a Korean player, so she couldn't make it to finals, but got placed in third after defeating a guy named MC. So SOS, we'll get back to him. Sorry. She plays him later, and then the whole story comes out. It's pretty good. And then she also participated in Aces Rock NorthCon 2013. She went into finals, Team Story Cup, semifinals, but she took a break during 2014. Once again, her wrist injury came back, so she really needed the break, and then she boot camped back in Korea. Boot camp being players just go to a certain area just to play against different Korean players, different players that are actually in Korea and stuff like that. So in 2015, she kind of announced this retirement. In January 6, 2015, while playing World Champion Series 2015 Season 1, she claimed that this would be her final tournament due to loss of interest. And just, she was just like, this game just isn't fun for me. But then again, when gamers love a game, they come back. And she did come back after a few months. Going back to the Bomber game. So this caster called Day9, he actually calls this game to be the best professional StarCraft 2 game up to date when the article came out. So it is she is known to be an amazing player. So the most important thing about her is that something recently happened, and it just so significant, and it's the IEM Pyeongchang, which happened in 2018, or was it 17? It was around the time of Winter Olympics, so 2018, yeah. So she joined Team Expert, and then Team Expert qualified for IEM. IEM is a very big tournament where all the international players come in to win obviously a trophy or a prize. It's just a huge honor to just even be participating in it. So during this, actually, she also became representation of Canada in the tournament. And she was actually the first ever to be fully supported by International Olympic Committee. So it was a huge thing for her. And during this time, she defeated Cham, Time, Cyril, and Elazar for the final seat. So she was defeating all these huge names. And then she also defeated SOS, who she lost to before. He's known to have variety of skills, tactics to counter a lot of people, but then for this time he just wasn't able to. She actually beat him. She only lost one map, so it was like a huge win. And this guy, he's a 2-time global champion. He flustered, and Scarlett managed to just take the win. And from this win, she was the first champion of an eSports tournament with IOC support, first female player to win a premier tournament, and the first Canadian to win. And this is interesting because she's the third foreigner to win a premier StarCraft tournament in Korea. So you could tell that South Korea is very, very big with StarCraft, and just beating any Koreans actually it was a big deal for StarCraft community. But she has a different title. She has a different gender, and people were looking at her like, wow, like people were calling her not a female gamer but gamer. That was one big step of every female gamer's dream, to get that female title out, and she managed it. So it was just a mind-blowingly amazing event that happened, and she was very excited. A lot of the StarCraft community was excited. All the female gamer community was excited for this win. And so from this, she was able to advance to 2018 GLC season 1 qualifier quarterfinals, and it actually made her the first female ever to do that, and actually the first foreigner to do so since 2012. So she is going beyond her skill of being a female and being a person being in a big boys club, but she's also doing it in a national kind of way, and it's just mind blowing to me and others how good she is in this game. So this is the winning moment of her play. If you guys want to watch the whole video, you guys are welcome. Remind me later. So let's see. Like right here is when she actually takes the victory. So this is SOS base getting eaten. So she wins. She's very happy. I would be too. I mean, look at her. She's excited. And then there's the post interview. We'll take a look at that as well. Okay, so this win was obviously, like I mentioned before, a big deal. So also it's actually only the second championship by North American StarCraft 2 player in Korea, like, to win this. Like, that is huge. Like, you just see Koreans holding this trophy, but there she is holding the trophy. And there were articles saying, like, oh, it's a well-earned reputation in the boys club, but I said just a well-earned reputation for herself, and no boys club can actually put her down on this. On this YouTube video, all the comments were like very happy that she won. A lot of her fans were coming out and just being like, "Oh, slay queen! Like, she's the queen of StarCraft." There was a lot of positive comments on it, and obviously there were some negative comments. They were referring to her gender, just stuff like that. But it was a huge move. It was a huge victory for women in esports, in my opinion. So from this, you know that if she worked hard, she took nothing from the boys who were saying, "Oh, you're not good enough." Even her brother was like, "You can't play this game," and then she showed him up. She was like, "I am good at this game, and I can beat you, and I'm confident in that." So I feel like this is a trait that a lot of females who are trying to get into esports should feel, and just look up to her. Just like she's an amazing person for even getting this far with all the hate. So I props to her future. Just look out for her if you guys are interested. So up to the next person. Let's see. So Taeyang Gregory Kim. So she's a female, obviously a Korean Overwatch player. She's currently playing in Overwatch League for the Shanghai Dragons. So how did she start? So she gained interest in Overwatch, and Overwatch is an FPS game. After watching a cinematic trailer, she was like, "Oh, this game looks fun," so she decided to pick it up. Even before actually being in any competitive LAN, she gained reputation in South Korea based on her plays with the Overwatch character called Zarya. Due to her aim and her win ratio, at one point her win ratio was 80%, which is extremely high for anyone actually. So while her reputation was growing, she got invitation to the UW Artisans team, and from that she went into competition where a lot of the casters were saying she has to be one of the top Zarya players in the world. So, but then the problem came when certain controversy around her just started coming out. So even before the big tournaments, before all the Apex and the World Championship, all the tournaments for Overwatch were kind of online LAN, so no one really knew her gender before coming out of the screen. They just knew her as a good player. But the controversy happened in the Nexus Cup Korean qualifiers on June 18, 2016. It embroiled in a cheating controversy over her performance in the official tournament. So a lot of people were accusing her using aimbot, which is a hacking cheating system that helps you aim better, because her performance was too good and her mouse precision was just humanly impossible. So there, some people created a forum accusing her of cheating based off of obviously the footage from this qualifier, while her teammates were defending her. They're saying no, she's just really skilled. She's just too good at this game. And then this controversy grew to a point where two actual professional players were like, if she's not cheating, I'm quitting, because it has to be that she's cheating. Like, it's just impossible that she's not. So like the issue grew that big. So the footage of her cheating, her accusation is this. So So the slow motion of it, just saying like how the mouse cursor does not hinder away from the moving character. Obviously, you see her hitting all the marks. So that precision made people think that she's actually cheating in the game. There are other clips. So her movement is really fast because her mouse sensitivity is extremely high. Stuff like that has caused her to believe that she is a cheater. So what fueled this controversy more was the fact that when the public found out she was a girl, they were like, wait, she's a girl, so she has to be cheating. So many people who claimed that she was cheating were saying she's only good at this game because she's aim hacking. She needs to be hacking because first of all, those aims are just impossible to make, and for a girl to do that's just impossible. That's like two like good aim and girls don't mix. That's what a lot of people were claiming. And there was some like people saying she's only better than me because she hacks. There's no way she can be better than any average guy in the game. But so those were the stuff that were coming out, and when gender wasn't the issue, the problem could have been solved. But then now people are bringing in her gender to fuel this controversy, to actually prove that she's hacking because she's a girl. Like, that caused a lot of people to drift away from the actual hacking controversy, but to more like, oh, she's a girl, like she plays video games, but she's cheating because she can't be this good kind of way. And it just didn't make any sense for anyone to bring up her gender when it was her gameplay. So anyway, regardless of this incident, she was able to gain international fame, and just like people were just anticipating for her career to grow. So of course, she proved herself that she wasn't hacking. She filmed herself playing game. Even Blizzard, the game company, came out saying she never used any hack. We checked her, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So people were just kind of still mad that, she's just way better than any other people that they have encountered. And so from this, the two professional players who actually said they'll quit, they actually did quit, so they lived up to their words, so props to them. So in 2016, she had a rough year. She after the controversy, she joined this Chinese team called eHome, but they failed to qualify for the first division of Apex tournament. So Apex was one of the big tournaments that Overwatch had, and it was like something that Koreans created, but it invited all different countries, so it shows more of a wide variety, more than just a little small pool of talent. After unable to qualify for the Apex, the team disbanded in June 2017. And later, 2 months after the disbandment, she joined Rox Orcus, and they actually managed to get into Apex in season 4. They didn't play that well. They actually didn't make it out of the playoffs. I believe they were either 7th or 8th. Their performance was poor, but people still had strong faith that she'll do well in other competitive settings, just because she's just so skilled. And so we come to the Overwatch League. Overwatch League is the biggest tournament that Overwatch has provided, and actually the only tournament that Overwatch is actually funding and sponsoring. And when it started, the controversy was that, why are there only males in the Overwatch League? Well, she proved them wrong, saying, hey guys, I'm here. In February 14, 2018, she joined Shanghai Dragons as the first female players in Overwatch. The hype for her was insane. The team that she joined did not have a single win, and many believed that she could be the saving grace for the team. They were like, oh, she will carry them, she will help them win. And many articles came out questioning if she is the carrying factor for the team, if she will actually do well. And this was a big huge win for also female in esports. When a lot of people were saying, oh, girls don't know how to play FPS because they're just not good at the game. Like the streamer that we talked about in lesson 1, he said, tell me a person who's really good at the game and who's playing at a top level. Well, there she is. She's proving him wrong, at least. And so upon her arrival, ESPN also did an article on her saying she's one of the most highly anticipated player debuts of the Overwatch League. So she's gaining fame, she's gaining all the attention. She is becoming the icon of just women in esports. So during this interview with ESPN, she said that I never envisioned myself as a pro gamer, but when I started playing, people encouraged me as I started getting better. Then I started attracting fans, and that's when I started thinking maybe I have a shot at this. She also said it was a challenge, but I took the opportunity. And she also says her motivation of playing was that she wants to keep trying harder and make all my fans proud. And one thing she said was, I don't care about my gender, I just want to play the video game. So you could see the pattern in both players that they didn't care what their gender was. They wanted to play the game. They wanted it to be their dream. They wanted to achieve what they wanted to do in the future. And so like she didn't think that she'd make it, but she did because she was getting all the support. So with all the support that the community can give, anyone would feel more welcome to join if the community wasn't so toxic. So I provided some clips of her actual gameplay because her gameplay is actually insane. Zumba is actually one of the well-known Overwatch player, and he claims that he learned Zarya, the character, from her. So this little thing is called Pachimari, and she really loves it. If anyone doesn't understand Overwatch, this character is actually not played as much right now, but when it was played, it was like a character that could potentially carry the entire team. So the casters from Overwatch League really love Gregory, and it's just like amazing for me to see her gameplay and just be like, wow, a lot of people really like her, and a lot of people want her to be at the highest of high. So this is just a gameplay where she managed to stall entire time while her teammates were coming back to the point. So you see that her teammate, which is in white, has died, and they're trying to obtain this objective. And she's just stalling. She's stalling for her team to come back, and she does it in such a great style that the casters are like, wow, she's amazing. She's really good, which I agree. And this is another clip. No, that's the same clip. So this is actually during the game that they were in, and then people were like, this is her moment. This is where she's shined. It says Gregory super carry. So her teammate gets hooked, but she pushes the guy, so her teammate doesn't fall into this hole. So it was just like a really fast, just fast reaction to what was happening, and it was just amazing for even the casters to see her reaction was just really fast. So overall, I just with this presentation, I wanted to kind of just express the fact that they never gave up. They didn't say, since this community doesn't want me, I'm just going to stop. They didn't do that. They continued, they pursued their dream. They found help in the community that was there. There were a lot of fans were giving support. So I feel like this was a good way to kind of say to any female gamers out there who wants to join esports to never give up. It's gonna be hard, but if you love the game and if you love what you're doing, I feel like you just shouldn't give up in that dream, and you should just keep going at it. And of course, in the next lesson, we'll be talking about all the support groups out there, all the support that community is trying to give, and just how maybe these prominent women actually went through just on support groups that they might have found helpful, and stuff like that will be discussed in the next lesson. And thank you for listening to this lesson two prominent women that I talked about, and if you like them, I hope you follow them throughout their career, and maybe you'll find some way to help them in return. Thank you very much for listening.